Yeah, I think we did it now. We're face back now. Now it's just me. Oh my god. Oh, I hate this. But it's Rio. I like Rio. I was always waiting for the real world to be real. I was hoping to flip around and get Max too. I'll try to get Max. I don't know if that would work. I love Max. Max has been with me most of this journey of becoming financially independent. I've always wanted to be financially independent, like most human beings when they... Oh, my dog's taking a poop on the property line. I want to show that, but it's probably not too appropriate for anybody. Max, come on, let's... He's happy. He's just got dumped his load, and he's happy. We're happy. We're going to take a trip up to my dad's cabin to see how it is. It's kind of a cool August day. We have a feeling that summer is over with. And wait a minute, Max. Steady. 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 Max loves life, loves people. I'm rambling on, but this is my first opportunity to just sit down and find myself. I know who I am. I have no problem with that. It's just as far as putting in a package that we can comfortably work with. Getting used to doing this like on a documentary, it's just, it's cool. I've done this. I got bits and pieces of VH, you know, the old back, one of the camcorders we used to have. I had some tapes, little V's. I forget what they were even called. Technologies. That was back like in the '90s when I was taking care of my kids. So someday we'll get them hopefully converted. A lot of ums. I like where I'm heading. I'm between a rock and a hard place, and I'm getting at peace with it. Single parent to single parent means a lot to me. It means that I get a chance to bring closure to my single parent experience with my children. It's priceless. I wouldn't ask anybody to go through that, but it's priceless. I wouldn't ask a couple to break up. Hey, Max! Max! Get over here. I wouldn't ask. I'm gonna try this over here. I wouldn't ask anybody to go down that path. It's the last thing I was gonna... I was in a shower. Oh, yeah, it's probably mid-'80s before my wife left me, and I'm thinking, God, I want to be in a ministry that I can give back to people that it's unique, that it's different, and it's not choir. It's no judgment against that, but no choir, no pastoral, no singing in a band. My voice, my voice would be might be going, oh my God, but this would. I would take it and say, God, I really would like to do something unique. And before I could even see what was happening, my life came apart. Everything that I was living for and enjoying just was completely shredded before my eyes. And I was on the couch in my parents' place and trying to pay off the debt that my ex really didn't want. I chose to take all the debt on because I didn't want her to have any excuses like that. So I did that. I thought it was honorable, ethical. And then we took from there, we built. I'll go into detail more about that later on, but the idea is this is my first video in making a connection. It's rather long. I like the small videos, you know, like our 3 to 15 minutes. It looks like I'm on 5. I stopped it and started over again. I'm in Michigan, Flint, Michigan. I love it. It's got a lot of bad publicity. A lot of good people here. I love them. You listen to their stories, and they're just very, very fascinating. Very fascinating. So hopefully we'll get a chance, if God is so merciful, we will light the planet up, and hopefully, you know, Flint is, you know, a flint stone, and there's 4 characteristics. I forget what they are, but there's 4 characteristics, and you know, you hit that flint stone just right, and it causes a spark. And this would be the greatest place to start the platform. We know Flint, if anybody studies it right off firsthand, it's a carriage town. Very you know, this was before Henry Ford. That very ingenuitive mind frames where they're building carriages. They're mass producing carriages, and they're sending them throughout the United States and the world. And they get really good at it. Well, then the motor comes along, right, and they got their motor carriages, but what happens is Detroit's by the water, and so everything shifts down to Detroit, and they go, Detroit's the motor capital city of the world, you know. And no, it's Flint. Not that we're angry or bitter or whatever, but that's where it was birthed, and Detroit took. Now, Detroit is good for Motown. You know, that's where all of the music got going, and then I hear the roots of Hollywood started in Detroit, but they did not have enough funding, so they went to the West Coast, where most rich people were at the time, and that's where they got the funding for the movie. So they ended up just planting Hollywood out there, where we currently know today. But it started. Michigan has a lot of talent. Michigan has a lot to offer. We had the cinder blocks. It was a very wet place. I forget their name, but they were a form of Christianity movement, and they created the masonry blocks and the cement blocks, and that's how we could live in this water area. At one time, Michigan, half of it was a swamp, and malaria was easily infected in this area. I've got off on a tangent, but I'm trying to hit all different kinds of bases. I did learn a lot of things through my single parenting that I would have probably never meant. I'm not trying to limit God, but God chose in my life to speak to me during that process. And I think it's going to really help. I know it's going to help shave off the learning curve being a single parent. I was amazed just a week ago going through the stats that 26% of the people in the United States are single parents. 80, 85, 90% of them are women. The rest are dead. And I'm thinking, oh my God, you're taking my single parent life and you're actually making me, transforming me into a life coach for single parents. That I take all of the things that I interacted with God, building my friendship with God, and the material is that a life coach, and then the things that has happened in my dad, his book, what we just got done publishing here in April of this is 2017, that it's called Hell and Back, and he says, I've been through 2 wars. One with my with Korea, and then one with my wife. And I go, oh, Dad. And we tested the speech, the marketing pitch, and to young children, to young adults, women and males, and older people, and they all smile and they laugh. The cover sells itself. I'll show you later on, but I'm jumping a lot. That's who I am. I've got a lot in my head, my heart, and I want to share it. God is going to, I believe with all of my heart, that even though the news says a lot of things, right now the stock market's went over 22,000. Everybody's kind of like, oh, I hope this is right. Hey, Max! Max! Come on. For you, but everybody's still in a vegetative state. The market's not moving really strong. Yeah, it's almost like this ministry is being birthed, like in the womb, the same thing. I'm ready to be born into a world. I was getting comfortable in my mother's womb, and then now it's come to the day that I don't have much room to work with. It's uncomfortable. I'm hearing conversations on the outside that somebody's going to be born. I figure out it's me, and I have no idea what being born means. And it starts to get uncomfortable. But yet, I feel like there's no turning back as I'm going down this birth canal, and that I have to move forward, and I have to reach out, and I have to get used to some air. I'm used to my umbilical cord of support system, and now I'm going to have to live without my umbilical cord? What do you mean? And that's what happens, is then all of a sudden the umbilical cord is brought out. I'm out in the cold, my air, just as like I was in a warm air jumping in a cold water. I'm in or I could be a hot body with some cold water splashed onto it. It's a whole new world. So I just, and it's that same thing where we go through the different seasons of our life. It's that birth process over and over and over and over again as I become me, my eternal entity in the image of God, in the likeness of God, that I have no clue what that is in a physical world. But I'm finding out, and it's awesome. It's freaking awesome, and I love it. I can laugh, I can play, I can hug, and I can love, especially unconditionally. That is, loving in the physical aspects of it, I love that part of it. But wait a minute, I got to learn how to love unconditionally. That's beyond me. And then I'm curious, but then I just kind of back off from it. Okay, we're into 12 minutes into this 13 minutes, and I just want to introduce myself. My name is Clarence Koan, and I love life, I love people, and I'm going to help you. I got a serious face on me, but my heart is full of smiles, and this is a whole new world. This is neighbors. I'm in a suburbia part, west side of Flint. I'm trying to find my dog. I'm getting all excited about this, and I'm thinking, oh my God, where's my dog? Hey, Max! Max! Where'd you go? See, this is kind of like the birth process, too. I had to reach out. Max! Oh, shit. Max! Get over here! Max is right there. We go in the church yard and we walk around. It's a beautiful woods. I think I go for suburbia Flint. I don't know if you can see it there. I'm getting used to this selfie thing here. Back side of the house. Go like that. Max is looking for a girl dog.